Oh, okay then. A lot of weird stuff going on, a lot of crazy stuff. See the guy at Moore Park. That's a court case now. Really, people's brains are completely fried. Apparently, got to realise this a new era. Things are different now, especially after the Bondi thing. I won't talk about that. Talk about just a bit of uh, what's the word Mark Ames talk about? Cultural stagnation. That's what see. Can't stand the just seeing all the old people, and people have been on TV for 30 years. Um, See it just everywhere. Rick Stein's been on for 30 years. He was at a dance party. They're all at a DJ there. He was doing the DJing. All 70, 75, 80-year-old people dancing with the 20-year-olds. Just probably the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. No dignity for boomers. No dignity at all. There's a bit of a controversy, a race around the world. That show was run 30 years ago. I haven't watched any, but I didn't even watch the clip. Some hippie looking woman had to go at Gina Reinhardt. Can't describe that. Can't describe what happened there. You can look it up, but John Safran is still on TV. They dragged him out 30 years ago. This was on. Back in the mid-90s, I think. It's just a cultural stagnation all the way down. Now, I love The Late Show. I loved seeing a lot of the stuff they did. Mick Malloy was really funny in that. He was good in that, but turn it on. There's Glenn, that guy who plays the Outbacks guy, Glenn Robbins, I think he is. Mick Malloy have their own show. Um, yeah, Mick Malloy and this other guy. They've been on too long, far too long. So it's just, where are the new people? Where's the new talent? I was flicking through the channels a couple of nights ago, and there was the Traitor. That series done an Australian version of that. They do Australian versions of every show. The British one has Claudie Winkleman. You would have seen that. Rebecca Watson did a video on the sort of the idea behind it. The sort of the scientific rationale, the logical rationale. The skeptic one. And they dragged out Gretel Colleen. Now she'd have to be, how old would she be now? She was old 20 years ago. She'd have to be pushing 70. She just seems that old. And it just seems in a popular culture, we know that the rock stars have been doing it. Rod Stewart, he was in the Utah or somewhere in the Midwest, and he couldn't stand up. He had to get an oxygen tank out for him. It's just embarrassing. The television and the music. What, the boomers, it's the boomers' fault. I mean, if there was no demand, there'd be no supply, would there? If it's playing to empty halls, they just give up soon. And yeah, I'm a little bit guilty. I went to see the Flaming Lips early last year. He's in the early 60s, but there was a specific reason for that. I can't go into now. I missed, I think it was a Flaming Lips concert at the end of my street, basically. And I never knew about it. I read about it in the Parramatta Advertiser. It was in the Parramatta Park there. Only for a few hundred, I never heard of it. Right down the end near the Governor's Mansion. And I saw that rankled me. And so I thought if I ever get the chance to see this Flaming Lips again, I will. So I did. It was a great night. I posted a couple of things to Instagram. But that's sort of a one-off for me. That was sort of tying the strings together, tying the lace together, on putting the ends on Something that sort of irritated me, low level, occasionally. For years and years. Very sort of low level, sort of in the back of my mind. But that's the thing, I wouldn't go to that all the time, wouldn't go and see. Pixies, I think, are coming in November. This year, I wouldn't go and see that. I like the band. I had their greatest hits, sort of best of double album, I think, on vinyl. I only have about 30, 28, 30 ones. I got Fraser O'Gorman. I've been going to buy one for years. And I happen to be in Parramatta, going past Beat Disc Records. So yeah, it's Greta Colleen and Nick Malloy and so many of these people have been on. Sandra Sully, she liked one of my tweets once, but she's been on a long, long time. And it's just stuck. We're completely stuck culturally. It's like a movie. The time stands still. Like 1996, all the people, 30 years. I attributed it to 9/11. So the trauma, but how do you explain in Australia? It's in the US too, Mark Ames, like I said, mentioned it. Look at the politics. Trump's a product of the 80s. They brought back Roseanne and she blew it up. She wrecked her show because she's saying funny things about that woman. That Jarrett woman. They cut it out halfway. So it's just really miserable. Keep repeating the Cats Does Countdown over and over again. That's been repeated about 10 times, been on for 8 years. I remember. Um, it's just a bad cultural stagnation. These old codgers are just hanging on and hanging on and hanging on. It's sort of mates. It's a mate system here in Australia too. Nick Malloy and Greta Colleen and all these other people that are still hanging around TV, even Safran, 30 years ago. They used to run the world, the same TV shows, The Block and just all of them. All of these old TV shows are still on over and over again. It repeats the letters and numbers and countdown. The Cats Does Countdown. It's just an endless. It's an endless retreading of everything over and over again, and all the old people. All of these hideous Mary Berries. Just grotesque. She wasn't even on here 20 years ago. She's been on the last few years. Grotesquely ugly old woman. Would have to be 90 years old. Still getting pushed down her throats. Just ugly thing. And Tim, Rick Stein was on a show that's maybe a couple of years old, maybe 12. And he's shaking while he's chopping things up. It's just horrendous to look at. There's no concept of respect for the audience. Who wants to see him shaking trying to cut up a carrot or something? It's just really obscene, really. Seeing this guy is just in such a poor condition, his hands shaking. Once upon a time, they just say no. The producers put that on and say no, we're going to have an old man with a shaky hand. It looks horrible, it looks terrible. Just, he's got enough money, just go away. Go away, Miss Rick Stein. Just please F off. And all these old people, these old rockers, and all of these old has-beens just ambling around on stage and sitting down. They can't even stand up. They dragged Ozzy Osbourne, Keith Carn-Harris. Talking about the beautiful death of Ozzy Osbourne. He's a disgusting old junkie. They're sitting down, can't even stand up, and people are paying money to go and see this. AC/DC, they can't even sing, they can't play the things. It's just an atrocity. It's just something I really, really hate. I really hate this this ongoing just cultural stagnation. It's just terrible. It's terrible to look at. It's horrible. Oh God! Somebody do something about it. We've got to cut these people off. They've got to be, I don't know. Elbow just stop it. Somebody put a stop to it.